welcome lovely folk. This is the reading for the year ahead, for the year 2025, for the sign of Scorpio. We'll start off with some tea leaf. I'll grab you an animal spirit card. For tarot we have 𝕃'𝕌ℕ𝔼. Then we'll grab a Queen of the Moon and a Moonology card as well. And charms as always, but we will be doing them a bit differently with runes as well as the yearly tarot card. So let's go ahead and get started here. Okay. Okay, so we have September and we have career. Tree, affairs with your family. Carrot, opportunity or windfall. Clouds, temporary problems. Rabbit, too much concern with sexual matters. I think this came up in your monthly as well, and I kind of get it as like, because that's kind of your area, Scorpio. So I'm kind of wondering if it's something to do with that, with more so being a Scorpio. Tulip, great passion. Crib, birth or conception of a child or enterprise. Kangaroo, unsettled times, need to plan ahead. Dog, far away, distant friend is thinking of you. Dog, close up, pleasure with a close friend. Interesting to have both of those there. I am kind of wondering if there is too much focus on work or on matters that deal with Scorpio, or just a need for balance in some way. We'll grab your animal spirit, but I do want to note you do have here already kangaroo, dog, rabbit. So these could, also be animal spirits for you. I am not going to read the animal spirit cards this time around. However, feel free, of course, there's plenty of resources online to look into them, especially if they keep showing up for you, which they might throughout the year. I also have a playlist on my channel that is called invoking power animals, so you can find some there, but it's not going to be as much information as on if you research it yourself. But good place to start. What was the other thing I was going to say? It'll come back. Spirit guides and angels, messages for Scorpio, please. What does Scorpio need to see for their highest good? Messages for Scorpio. Very interesting energy in the way that these wanted to come out. Give me 1 second. Okay, we have owl and wolf. Beautiful. So both very highly intuitive. We do have one that is the air element, one as the earth element. So kind of getting like grounding, but also being able to see in 360. Just being very well-rounded and well-grounded. I love these cards for you. Let's go ahead and get your tarot. But yes, again, if these animals continue coming up, they're definitely trying to, convey a message, perhaps like boost you in some way, help you invoke certain traits. So worth looking into. And do come back, that's what I was going to say. Do come back and let me know what resonates. If you've seen these animals show up a lot throughout your year. And yeah, I would love to hear that in the comments. Alright, messages for Scorpio, please. What does Scorpio need to see their highest good? So what was interesting was, like, almost every shuffle I've done for you guys, a lot of cards, this one hopped out, but a lot of them, like, kind of, what's it called? I'm thinking crashed, but there's a different term, to come out. Let's see if there's any more for you. Messages for Scorpio, their highest good for the year 2025. There we go. Okay. Okay, so we're starting off here with 6 of Wands. So that's like being recognized. I think you're on a lot of people's minds. We have a distant friend thinking of you. Even if it doesn't feel like it, because it might feel like unsettled times right now. You are recognized, you are thought of. I think you're somebody that's like hard to forget. I think you have this like beautiful energy that's just, sits with people. They really like that. Sometimes I think not the right people, it could come off as like an intensity, but I think a lot of people love that intensity that you bring. And you're not somebody that's easily forgotten. We have the 3 of Swords in the reverse. So you're getting over a heartache. Now you could already, like this past year, could have been kind of like getting over this heartache. It's going to be different for everybody, the time periods. But I see like at the beginning of this year ahead, you've released so much of this heartache and have been healing. And that somebody's thinking of you. Alright, we have 2 of Swords in the reverse. And we have the High Priestess in the reverse. So you're definitely being called to stay grounded, see 360, connect with your intuition, really learning to trust your intuition throughout this year. I think there are things you were meant to go through in the past that made you doubt your intuition in some way, when in reality it was just meant to, like, it was just part of your journey and had nothing to do, like, you may have like ignored some red flags or ignored your intuition in some way, and then even though you felt it and then kind of eased into the situation, it made you doubt your intuition. But in reality, like I said, it was meant to happen that way because there was some kind of karmic bond there, some kind of lesson, and you're just meant to go there. But it's caused you to doubt your intuition, and now this year is going to be a lot about reconnecting with that. For others, this is about keeping your cool and knowing when to say something and when to step back in the face of like conflict, and really kind of mastering that ability. So let's see. Beautiful. Okay. So if you've been struggling with indecision, I see that changing throughout this year. You definitely are going to connect with your intuition. You're going to know. You're going to know what path you want to take, because you're going to feel. You're going to just feel the sun on you when you do this thing. Feel the happiness within it. And therefore, you're going to know where to offer yourself. And also, it's like mastering stability here. So beautiful. I think that sometimes, especially I think all water signs can go through this. We can be very spontaneous, beautiful energy, but sometimes it can be a struggle to learn how to structure, how to have some sense of stability. So this is something you're mastering. You know, this Two of Swords can even be indecision. And I think part of it is like that you get in your head about it, but throughout the year you really work on this. You really see what is a soul connection, what really sits in your heart, and not just overthinking it. And you know where to offer yourself. And offers are going to be coming to you, especially because you stand out. So beautiful, beautiful energy. Let's get your Queen of the Moon. Spirit guides and angels messages. Okay, for Scorpio. So we have discernment. Beautiful. That's definitely, you know, that energy. You're discerning where you want to offer yourself, what truly sits with you in a good way, and where you want to offer that energy. We have beginnings. So I think this is like having to do with like where you offer yourself and offers coming in for you. We do also have the opportunity or windfall, birth of or conception of a child or enterprise. So it's going to lead you somewhere for sure. Acceptance. So I feel this is kind of about loving yourself through every step of your journey. Knowing that like it's okay to be human, and forgiving yourself for anything in the past, and knowing that like everything is an opportunity to grow. Trust your intuition. Don't accept the past for what it was, and trust that it was like meant to be a part of your journey, and it wasn't just your intuition like going against you. You trust your intuition, your inner voice, even when we like are guided into things that are really tough lessons. You know, I think we're meant to go through those to shape us, because sometimes it's like without that lesson that we learned through some hard experience, like that can really like affect us later down the line with like it's shaped us in some way to be able to like make the right move later in life or when it really matters, and different things of that nature. Like you were meant to go through whatever it is you went through for a reason, and it was tough and it broke your heart, but it was something that was very important on your journey. So accept that, and accept that it's a piece of you and a part of you, and trust that you have learned the lesson and are ready to take it forward. And lastly, we have surrender. So we are very much so connected with acceptance. It's like radically accepting and surrendering to what is, what was. We can't, actually my quote for this month is ringing true here. We cannot change anything until we accept it. Condemnation does not liberate, it oppresses. So like essentially it's accept that it's been part of your journey. It's there and you can take from it. Accept it, learn from it, grow from it. Or you can, stay trapped in your mind with it and it just repeat and not be able to change. You have to really truly first surrender to the truth. Alright, let's get your moonology. This is really showing itself. Don't let your trust hold you back. South Node. And that's funny because I was kind of getting that with Rabbit, but I couldn't say, what is your North Node and South Node. But like, I know me personally, my South Node is my sun sign, which I like to call the ego sign. So it's like really tough when your ego is your South Node, because you find like comfort in the ego and you find comfort in what you know. And so it's like, it's always stepping into the unknown and uncomfortable for anybody going towards their North Node. But yeah, it can be really hard when it's also attached to your ego sign. So there could be something to that. If Scorpio is both your sun sign and your South Node, that'd be worth looking into to see how to, liberate yourself. But acceptance, again, is so important there. I know I've definitely struggled to accept that myself in my position. Messages for Scorpio for the year 2025. Messages for Scorpio for the year 2025. What does Scorpio need to see? There we go. Have faith in your dreams, waxing crescent moon. Step out of your comfort zone. So there we go, there's the North Node. Conclusions are within reach. Full moon eclipse. You are good enough. Full moon in Virgo. You're very close to achieving your goal. Gibbous moon. And a win-win outcome is forecast. Full moon in Libra. I want to note that these messages could be important. The time periods could be important. Or both, of course. So, waxing crescent moon, full moon eclipse, whenever the next one might be, or the last one could have had an impact on you. Full moon in Virgo, so that would be Pisces season. Gibbous moon during that period, or gibbous is just when it's growing. And full moon in Libra, which would be about, what is the opposite of Libra? Oh my goodness, I can't think of it. I'll have to put it up. I will meet you in your charms and runes portion. Hello and welcome to this portion of the video. So for your yearly tarot card, we have here the Emperor. So that is awesome to see. You are definitely stepping up. Some of you could be starting your own enterprise, your own entrepreneurship. Running your own business, just stepping up in some way, or getting into a position even where you're delegating, where you're overseeing multiple projects perhaps. Okay, so let's go ahead and get your runes. So, for the year, we have the blank rune. Beautiful. So it's kind of like writing your own story. Fate. This rune is completely blank and is said to represent both the end and the beginning. An example, the transition of death, but not physical death, but the asking person or others. Possibly a symbol of something we don't know, a step into the unknown. Maybe personal development, a new phase in life. Or the whims of fate will be able to light the situation at the end. Okay. We have over here, this is Awas. Yes, Awas, horse, changes. The rune of Sleipnir, Odin's horse, travel and changes. An asking person is involved in a business project. If an asking person involved is in a business project, a business project should be encouraged. Apologies. So this is in Gemini season, or it could even just be about communications throughout the year, but this landed in the season of Gemini for the yearly. But emotional relationships must be rebuilt or given some vitamins. Wait on spiritual travels, as in it's encouraged. A calming rune, which gives prosperity. To get inner peace, we should make an extra effort to finish our tasks. Beautiful. And then we have Soil, which always kind of reminds me of Harry Potter, the sign on his head. The sun, good health, prosperity and luck. The asking person's natural abilities should come out and be used positively so that they can reach their full potential. So this is in connection with this here. So they can reach their full potential, success and creative will. Now and then, soul can ask if we don't have too many irons in the fire, and if we shouldn't slow down a bit. Also a warning against wanting to show off or over-dramatize but encourages positive creative energy. That kind of is also reminding me of, again, like stepping out of the comfort zone. Don't be afraid to step out of the comfort zone. Look at your south and north node. It's kind of reminding me of that as well. How to rise up and reach your north node. But also creative efforts will help you with I was there with changes, but also, what was it, not being afraid to delegate as well, especially if things are becoming too overwhelming. See where you can delegate and go ahead and do so, or bring people in to help. And then way over here, it was in Sagittarius, we have I was. You, the journey of the dead. The yew is first of all Odin's tree. He collected the souls of the dead before the journey to the underworld. This rune symbolizes, therefore, death, or changes, and breaking with old habits. It doesn't have to be negative, but can signify that the asking person is approaching their goal in a successful way. And it landed in Sag. So that could be now. This could be happening now. I also love that it's kind of like, I don't know if the runes are replaced with the zodiac signs. They probably are. But it feels like a very Scorpio rune in relation to tarot, like the death card being scorpionic in its energy. This rune feels kind of scorpionic. My cat's chiming in. We also definitely heard the alarms going off, so I'm kind of getting again about trusting your intuition. Okay, let's get your charms. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, so let's start out at the beginning of the year. We have here in Capricorn season, which is around about January, we have a rabbit on the moon. So that's reminding me of the rabbit card. So for one, it's like, an ego check and seeing if desires are taking over in any areas and what you can do to change that. But also, I'm again getting about the south and north node. That seems very prominent. Actually, it's kind of funny because Capricorn is specifically my north node. And so it just, even more so, is reminding me of that. But yeah, also like because the moon can represent fears. So it's like stepping out of fears. What is the story with the rabbit on the moon? It's also about abundance and, growing and letting go with the moon. Looking at what habits you want to grow and what habits you want to let go. So something else to think about there. So for Pisces season, around about March, we have a rainbow, which is reminding me of the little heart on it. It's reminding me of 9 of Cups energy. So some wish may be granted within Pisces season. It's also about seeing things full scope, the full spectrum. It's reminding me of the owl and getting that 360 view, seeing things from every perspective. And with love, with the little heart on the cloud, it will show that. Okay, then we come into Leo, which we have a lot going on here, like quite a bit. So we have the torch, which this is kind of like a needle threader, which some reason always reminds me of I as well. So perhaps like it'll be a time of introspection, but also reigniting that inner fire, or perhaps delegating, passing the torch on in some ways, some areas. We have the Y bead, which I always think of, like it could be, you know, Y, a letter for a name, a letter for, you know, what have you. But I always think of like why, like questioning things. So definitely more into that introspection. We have a bell, so incoming messages, the signal or start of something. That could be what leads you into why. Perhaps you get an incoming message. Could be we saw distant friend thinking of you. We have here Virgo pendant. Perhaps these things also can lead into Virgo, but it could also have to do with a Virgo in your life. Round about this Leo season period, which is around about August. We have a tooth, a shark's tooth here. So a few things. Teeth are always very spiritual. So that could be about connecting into that spirituality. Especially, it seems like you're asking why questions around this time period, so that would make sense. Perhaps you're raising your spiritual vibrations around this time. I don't know why, but I got the phrase, taking a bite out of crime. But this is also round about that first period of moon growth leading into the first quarter. We also have a tree, like a Christmas tree with a star on top. So perhaps ways you've been healing right now are really going to have some growth round about this period. You'll see some kind of reward for it. We have kind of around Scorpio season, but also kind of around that further development just before the full moon, some clarity, seeing things through different scopes. Getting clear on your decisions is what I'm getting. And then kind of around about Capricorn as well, we did kind of miss this, but also around about just after the full moon. And these like moon phases can be like, you know, within all of the months throughout the year. A flower, some kind of growth. Perhaps you are manifesting with the moon and you'll see growth with that. Okay, well, we will leave this here. I want to firstly wish you a wonderful year of 2025. I hope you had something that resonated with you, and I would love again to see you come back and share whatever that may be throughout the year. And I would like to thank you for all of the likes, comments, shares, and subscribes. They truly get these messages out to all that they are meant for. And I would like to thank you so much for being a part of my journey and welcoming me to be a part of your journey as well. And until next time, lovely folk.